Well, the NT Police Commissioner is expected to deliver an apology for racist events in the NT Police over 154 years at the Garma Festival today. Michael Murphy will deliver a speech today where he will respond to calls for an apology.
Dan Borscher joins us now from the Garma Festival, where he is joined by NT Police Commissioner Michael Murphy, along with the most senior Indigenous woman with the NT Police, who is co-leading change in the force, Leanne Little. Good morning to you, Dan.
Yeah, good morning to you both, and of course this comes after there have been numerous calls for action and a rethink about policing in the Northern Territory. The Northern Territory's Police Commissioner Michael Murphy and Leanne Little, who is co-leading that piece of work, join us. Good morning to you both.
Morning, Dan. How are you?
Commissioner, what are you going to say today?
Look, can I just firstly recognise it's great to be on the lands of the Gumatj people. It's brilliant to be here at Garma, such an immersive cultural environment. And it's great to be invited here. This afternoon I'll be speaking to a crowd at the Bungal ceremony area, and it's basically recognising the injustices and the harms Northern Territory Police have been involved in the previous 154 years. So it's about recognising that, owning it, so we can move forward and unite and look at that healing and reconciliation into the future to work together for better outcomes for community safety. We see they're closing the gap. The high rates of incarceration, that's not the answer. The answer is working together and making sure we have a safe community. We work alongside each other and look for better outcomes for all our community members.
Commissioner, is this an apology?
It will be an apology, yes. It'll be an apology for a number of our involvements in policy positions and also some of our activities that we've undertaken as the Northern Territory Police in the past.
There is a coronial inquest into the death of Kumanjai Walker right now. Is that one of the events that you're responding to?
Look, obviously the death of Kumanjai Walker has provided an opportunity for us to reflect, not just on that event, but the whole history of Northern Territory Police. And it's a time to make a change. We need to own our past. As the Commissioner of Police, I'm responsible for the leadership of the agency and the future of it and where we're headed. And this is a real opportunity to seize on that and make a difference for the future and make it a better place.
Commissioner, what led you to this point?
I think listening to the community, hearing about the community. So the police are the community and we need to understand the community because we need to work together and we need to police by consent. Having the advice from Leanne Little and Bettina Dangingbar and land councils and the community and our police officers, there's been a lot of hurt and there's been a lot of anger, so we need to do something different. We need to have the courage to actually do that, and this is where we're at.
Leanne Little, you're an Arrernte woman, a lawyer from Central Australia, a NT Australian of the Year. You've taken on some incredible challenges in your time. What do you say to this apology that we're getting from the Commissioner, the head of the Northern Territory Police today?
I think the timing's right. I think we need to recognise that there's been damage and hurt and pain by Aboriginal people, and the apology will do something towards healing that.
What are you hoping to achieve in this role? You are the most senior Aboriginal person in the Northern Territory Police, and I understand that part of the work you'll be doing will be a racism review and an anti-racism strategy. How are you going to go about that work?
So I'll be doing the anti-racism strategy. There's not a review as such. We're also looking at appointing and increasing 30% of Aboriginal people across all streams within the Northern Territory Police. So that includes officers, that includes public servants. So an increase in that area. We'll be looking at putting language speakers in our 000 call centre so we can better understand Aboriginal people's needs, given the fact that we know there's 120 languages spoken here in the Northern Territory.
And you know, we've spoken about this before, about the devastating over-incarceration of Aboriginal people in the Northern Territory that then it said leads to that recidivism. Is an apology going to make a difference?
The anti-racism strategy will, and the policy reforms that will come along with that. So what we hope to do is that people don't use biases, discrimination or judgment, prejudices when they work and talk to Aboriginal people, and that they're able to diffuse situations in an appropriate way that's relevant to Aboriginal communities and people, and that in turn will stop the rate of Aboriginal people coming in contact with police that then leads them into the justice system where we know most never come out as either as a victim or an offender or a witness.
You've been in the police for a number of weeks now. What's been your experience there of the culture within the police?
We've got a lot of work to do. This isn't going to change overnight. It's going to take time, so people will need to be patient. But I didn't take this role on lightly. I didn't accept it for a very long time because I had to make sure that the leadership was there, that my ability to do the work that I've been asked to do is able to get done. I'm confident that we will get there.
Are you confident that leadership's there now?
Oh, absolutely, without doubt. And I don't just say that lightly. People who know me well know that I just won't take a job because a job comes along and it looks good to me. I have to know that I can get that job done.
Commissioner, you've just taken on the role as the head of police in the last little while. How difficult is this to stand here and say, we're going to apologise for these actions, this behaviour, and clearly, as has been indicated, issues around culture?
Yeah, cultural reform is probably the hardest work to be done. And can I just say that an apology or a recognition of the past is only the start. It's not the answer, it's not the solution, but it's a way forward. And it's about owning that, and it's in the right direction to have the healing process and the reconciliation, the conversations, to be honest about the past and where we need to go to in the future. The role of commissioner, any commissioner in Australian policing, is incredibly difficult, but it's about having the courage. It's the right time to do it. You know, there's always time, you can always put things off. To say it's not the right time, it is. We have to do something. The most important thing is we need to translate that into action. It's not just words, we can actually do some things to change the culture and to change how people think and because we can't keep doing the same thing because we're just going to keep getting the same results, and that hasn't worked. Just
finally, Commissioner, you just mentioned yourself, change is hard. Are you expecting resistance in the police?
Look, always. Changing culture, accepting change is always difficult. It's about manoeuvring through that and communicating with the workforce and our larger stakeholder group too to know what we're actually doing, and we will be doing that because change is always hard and it's slow. But we're going to do some things really quickly about working with land councils and the Anti-Discrimination Commissioner and the Justice Agreement and our workforce, looking at our recruitment strategies and challenging how we actually recruit people so we diversify and actually accept. We've got 12% Indigenous population in our workforce. The community is 31%, and that's our goal, to reflect the community we serve. I've been in the police force for 27 years. I've grown up in the ranks of the police force. I understand the culture of the police force, and it's incredibly hard to challenge that culture and change it as now the Commissioner, but it's important work we'll undertake.
Police Commissioner Michael Murphy, Leanne Little, thank you both for your time this morning.
Thanks
very much, Dan.
And, a really important amount of detail there, Joe, about what will be in that speech, or part of what will be in that speech later this afternoon, that we'll be bringing to you live here on the ABC News channel.
All right, Dan Borsha there. Thank you so much.